videos. You guys can check it out if you want to just make sure it's okay.
I don't want to. My computer's taxed enough.
Taxed.
I don't
Okay.
want to start. I don't want to add something else to it.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
got this going. The video, I got WoW
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
background. I'm doing a raid.
Oh my
at the same
gosh.
time.
You're doing a raid. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So Thick, how do I find our podcast?
You just go to the channel and just go to live section. It should actually be up already.
I drop podcast.
Yeah, I should probably.
Me actually.
Yeah, I see it. It has the was it last? Is that this week's thumbnail or last week's thumbnail?
What? Well, last week we
It's up
didn't have a live, did we? It doesn't even exist.
Oh, it doesn't exist. It's of the Portal and the OLED Steam Deck.
Yeah. That's why I haven't made a new thumbnail, so that's what you get.
Alright. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
looks good.
I like
Looks
it.
good on my end. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
turn it on because it'll obviously
Okay.
affect my recording. But
All right. I like it. Very nice. All right. Should we pause 3 seconds for station identification?
Of course.
All right. Greetings and welcome to Supply Drop episode 66, a game podcast created by the earth, the wind, and the fire of podcasts. My name is Nate. I'll be your host. I'm joined by 2 other co-hosts, the first of which is Scott.
hello, everybody.
Scott, can we take a solemn moment and have you briefly reflect on the year of 2023 for our listeners? Solemnly and, respectfully. Just, can you say a couple of words? All right.
Micro transaction. Is that one word or
Ooh,
two?
that is nice. That is nice.
Okay.
I like you, Scott. I like you.
I got one word too.
I
Layout.
didn't ask you.
It's like
I
a
didn't ask you, Thick.
Okay.
Thick, because I know you're gonna cry about it if we don't let you do your word. What is your word?
Not gonna say it.
Oh my god! Oh, great!
man.
I'm in the doghouse now. I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Thick, maybe this will cheer you up. I have a question specifically designed for you.
Okay.
Thick, can you tell us what sports logo you find most aesthetically pleasing? I know you're not a big sports guy, but there has to be a logo or some colors. You're like, that's I
Like
could
the
wear a
color
hat.
scheme maybe that I really like.
No, I want the logo. I want an actual logo.
I like, I guess the Mets logo, but I have a lot of
Kinda
family members.
classy?
Yeah, I like the blue and orange kind of thing.
Blue and
Actually,
orange,
yeah,
yeah.
I kind of like using that as some of my cosmetics in games. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
do you
just-
really?
Yeah. So I'll,
Okay, I respect that. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think it has a baseball bat in the front. The Mets logo,
I
maybe.
mean-
It might.
maybe.
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah. I mean, Overwatch
the way-
2 teams had like similar colors too. So
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
Yeah.
By the way, so I live in St. Louis. Our baseball team is St. Louis Cardinals. Have you guys ever seen a cardinal like sitting on a branch?
you like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the red cardinal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the red cardinal with the little black under the eye. It is
Yeah.
the lamest looking. It's the lamest looking bird. It doesn't look ferocious at all. Like I
It's
get the
not.
Falcons. I get the Falcons or the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know,
The cardinal. It should
Even
not
an
be a.
osprey, maybe, or
Yeah,
you know.
or an ostrich. More
Yeah, it might
more
as well be
intimidating.
like the robins.
So what does
Yeah.
the mascot
The
look like?
hummingbirds.
Is it a cardinal? Like,
It's a
literally a
cardinal
cardinal.
head, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
does he
you
look
might be sitting on a.
intimidating?
No.
No?
It's pretty. It's
It's-
pretty like classy looking.
Okay.
It's probably the state bird. You know.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they might be a state bird for a lot of states then, because I think Virginia has it as a state bird.
Wow.
Maybe. I could be
Probably
wrong.
like
Tennessee
20.
is the buzzard, I think. Yeah.
That's a good.
Oh,
That's a
really?
good choice.
Yeah.
The buzzer. That's a little creepy, I
buzzard.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get started, I want to ask listeners a question. The Supply Drop podcast is looking for a 4th rotating chair. If you like video games but none of your IRL friends accept you, shoot us a comment on our YouTube channel, and we'll see if we can set something up. You don't need a webcam, but you do need a microphone. All right?
We accept
Yes.
We accept you. Scott, tell us how your week went.
I am. I'm growing a beard. The
May we
bearding-
see it? It
the
comes out
bearding
nice.
is happening. Yeah. So I started this the other day.
you. Exciting.
Wait, are you joking or are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
So we're going to see this throughout a few weeks,
Yeah.
months.
I'll
nice.
probably have a full beard next week.
Okay.
Well, it's part of a. It's kind of like a manifestation thing I'm doing. It's I'm growing this like Marcus Phoenix, Old Man Beard,
Uh-huh.
and
okay.
to manifest like a Marcus Phoenix collection.
Yeah,
For PC, or
that's
Gears
what
of
I
War
was
collection
thinking.
for PC, or
That's what I
just
was
maybe
thinking.
2 and 3 on PC or something, or
Yeah.
anything Gears of War. I mean, just it's just kind of trying to make it happen. Just putting it out in the universe. So
All right, I have a question for Scott. Thick, may I ask my question?
No.
I'm asking anyway.
so anyway,
Okay.
no.
All right, Scott, aren't all the Gears of War games on Game Pass?
Yes.
Can't you go on your PC, download those? You cannot do that. So
No,
those are
there is
tied to
no-
the console.
There is no Gears 2 or Gears 3 Judgment
Oh.
we don't talk about. There's no version of that for the PC.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you can play them, the 360 versions on, illegally, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not really the same. You're not using like a keyboard and mouse. It's not
Okay.
really the same thing. This is something that is long overdue, and they need to release something like this now.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
month would be good. It'd be good for me. So I'm just, So the beard, the beard's magic, man.
Yeah.
It works for Santa. I'm gonna try to make it happen.
The beard is only half of the equation, though. You got to start injecting steroids. A pretty heavy dose of steroids
Probably
this week.
yeah.
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, sooner the better.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll get on that too. That
gotta
probably
add
will
it.
help my beard too. I mean, it might,
yeah,
you
got to add
make
about
it
400 pounds of pure muscle to you,
just
Scott.
meat.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that'll be good. I'm 5'7", and I need 400 pounds of muscle. I look like a dwarf from
Yeah. Oh, that's
Lord
right.
of the Rings.
That's right. Never
But yeah,
trust an
but
elf.
other than that, it's been a pretty good week. I've last week, I told you guys I found this little indie game that you've probably heard of. It's called World of Warcraft. I don't know. It's been out for a minute. I am just totally encapsulated with this game. I'm just having the most fun with it. But I also
Love to
got a
see
chance
it.
to
Yeah.
and also went. I downloaded Last Epoch, and I think we've talked about this game briefly. We probably talked about it when Diablo 4 came out, but it is
Yeah,
a top-down, action RPG, much like Diablo. And it's still in early access. It's got a release date of February 21st of next year, and I think it came out April 2019, something like that. And this game is solid. It is really good so far. It still has a little bit of the 2019-ish kind of feel to it. There's preset characters. You can't really cosmetically change or alter your character, but you can change. You can select like the mage and the necromancer and fighter and paladin and all that kind of stuff. So it is really good. I think if you like Diablo 4 and you're getting kind of sick of the it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad.
It's so the Last Epoch is an action RPG like Diablo.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the differentiating factor which makes it unique?
One, the main thing you're going to see is it's not like, it's pretty. It has like a more colorful setting. It's not like this doom and gloom kind of
Dark.
dark.
kinda like Halo
which
5?
I do like. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's use every color in every scene. Well, it's not that bad, but the controls are very similar. But on mouse and keyboard, they're better than Diablo 4, in my opinion. I use a controller when I play Diablo 4 because doing a lot of ranged weapons and everything, you have to hold shift so your character doesn't go in the direction while it's shooting. All that. Last Epoch has taken care of that. If you're using, if you fire anything, a spell or an arrow or anything, your character doesn't move that direction. You're actually just firing in that direction, and then you use your, the Q, W, E, A, S, D keys for all of your powers, 1 through 4. Everything's just very accessible, and it's really easy to get into and learn. And the leveling of it feels really good. It's not too quick, and it's not, you don't get bored with stuff. It pushes you along really good. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it. I actually just went through it. I'm just like making a character of each class to see what I like. And so far, I like all of them.
That's nice.
Yeah, which is that's not something that happens with me. There's usually like 2 or 3 that I'm like, and there's usually one that I'm like, I will not play that at all.
Yeah.
But all of them are they're good. They're good. So if you're a Diablo 4 fan, and you haven't checked this out. Now I think is the time to do it. I have had zero issues with it. Performance is really good. Servers are really good. So yeah, I would definitely go check that out.
What's the price tag? Is it like 30 or 40?
Yeah, it's like I think it was like $34,
Okay.
like $32.99 ish, something like that. So it's not a $70 game by any chance. But yeah, I mean I think it's pretty good. The other thing I dipped back into was Warframe. I'm trying to, find that Destiny 2 itch without actually playing Destiny 2.
The Warframe community likes this game. People like this game.
It does. I created a new character, started from scratch, kind of like I did with WoW, and it is better for new players. And man, there is a lot of content here. There is tons of content for this game. So, Last Epoch, World of Warcraft, Warframe, these are games that came out years ago. And I'm just kind of either dipping back in or kind of rediscovering them, and it's been a blast. That's all I've really been playing. I've been playing a lot of WoW. So
a full embracement of live service, which I love to see, Scott. I love to see it.
Yeah. And in the best way. I mean, WoW is the if you start off in the retail version, I think that it's good. Later in the game, that's when it might start get to where it's like, oh, you need this weapon that is actually $35 or stuff like that. I don't know yet. I'll keep you posted. But Warframe also, you can go through that game. Everything that you get is cosmetic. Like anything that you buy at the store is just cosmetics. And you do earn them in the game as well. At least the Last Epoch, I think it has a store. I'm not even sure because it doesn't throw anything in your face when you start the game. It doesn't. It doesn't have that, 45% of the screen dedicated to, hey, this is what's out this week in the store. So, yeah.
Scott, can I tell you what I don't like about MMOs?
Yeah.
My entire life, I kind of felt like MMOs were like these worlds where like all the players jumped into a world together. None of them are like that, right? Where it's like,
yeah.
Like World of Warcraft is not like that. Like you jump into like servers with like 20 other people.
No,
right?
No.
There's a lot of
there's
people
a lot
on
of people.
Server.
You can have a lot of people on a server.
So do you mean 40 people? Are you saying
I'm
it's not
talking
20
about,
people, it's 40?
We're talking about thousands, possibly.
Yeah. So can those thousands of people ever do anything together? Like do anything like let's all?
Even I've been doing dungeons. They are a blast. Yeah.
Dungeons are more 5, but I mean, I tell you, even back in 2006 or whatever, like when like there was a big like event, like there's one place where everyone has to unlock it to go to it, like it's like the final raid or whatever next, and like there's like at least a couple hundred people in one zone. It was crashing the zone, like it's
it was
yeah.
So when I played Diablo 4, you know how you see like other characters are out there running around, and to me, I'm like they mean nothing to me because they just don't impact my gameplay. You know what I mean? Is it kind of like that in WoW? They don't.
Yeah, it kind of is. It depends. For me, and now Thick has probably got way more hours on it than I do. But there was only one area that I went to that someone was actually like helping me. Because I was soloing and I was, I would get mobbed,
Right.
You aggro like one person and then like 5 come up, and he actually came over and started helping me. And other than that, though, it's just like everybody's kind of doing their own thing,
right?
And it may be the same thing you're doing, but the timing is a little off. I didn't feel like nobody gets in my way,
right?
You don't go to a door and it's like there's so many people there you can't even see the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
I think it probably does a very good job of making sure that you're not on a server like everybody's on one server. I don't think they fill a server like they used to. They used to fill a server, then jump to the next one, jump to the next. I think they kind of make sure that it's
there's a lot of cross server progression kind of thing now.
Yeah. And you can move to a different server as well. Like if you've got somebody playing, you just kind of migrate over to that server.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the same server as your friend anymore.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff there that what the retail version does for me is it allows me to role play like a role playing game. It allows me to play through
Okay.
a campaign and have stuff to do. And I just got a griffin. I can fly. I
Hmm.
can just fly anywhere in the world, and it's persistent. So when you're talking about like Diablo 4 and you see all these people running around, the player count on Diablo 4 is relatively small, and the area is relatively small.
Hmm.
uh WoW is big, and so
Huge,
far I
right?
think I can like take off from one continent and actually fly to another continent
Hmm.
um seamlessly. uh and no loading screens, or I mean it's pretty impressive. I mean, they've
Yeah.
got it down. They've had almost 20 years to get this down.
Hmm.
So the things that you don't like about MMOs, you may actually like about the retail version. You may like the retail version of WoW,
Wow.
because
Yeah,
I'm the same way.
I would say with the retail version, and that's why some people like the classic version, is like there's so much quality of life that it does make it a little
It's
bit.
kind of it's a little cushy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little cushy where it
Yeah.
makes it a little bit harder to kind of have that sort of like novelty that WoW had in the beginning, right? So like
Yeah.
that's why some people really wanted classic WoW back, because there's a lot of niceties stripped away. Like there's wasn't like group finder. You don't teleport everywhere. You have to walk there, and when you walk there, you might get killed by a PvP player if you're on the PvP server. And there's like the original way WoW was, it cannot be recreated anymore. It's just there's no novel factor to it
No.
these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's just past that age. Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, if you played other MMOs, you can't erase that either. I played a lot of ESO, and ESO is similar to that in the fact that you can just solo it. You can just play it like an RPG.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. That's what I've always liked about ESO. And now you can do the same thing with WoW in this new world, or to me, this with all these new characters and all these things that I don't know about, and I'm discovering kind of for the first time.
Yeah. Scott, a while ago, Thick asked me, he was like, "What do you like about Scott?" And I couldn't think of anything for about 10 minutes straight. And then I said, well, at least he's a voice for the little man in terms of championing games that are not well known, not indie games.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's your
I
one
find
redeeming
these.
quality.
I found some stuff.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
download another game. I haven't played it yet, but I'll talk about it next week when I have. But it
Okay.
is
Alright.
definitely a little bitty indie.
All right.
No,
Okay.
jokes aside, it's teeny
All
tiny.
right. All right. Thick, save the podcast. Save it.
How can I say that?
Right
Should
now.
I talk about the most popular game that's happening right now? Or
Ooh, if that's what
I-
your week entailed, yeah.
No, I did not. Let me. What
It did
did I
not.
play? Oh, I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like just I decided to pick it
Oh,
back
yeah.
up again, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just went through it for a few hours. I also picked up Starfield again, probably because everyone was like bagging on it this week. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna see. Am I wrong for liking Starfield? And I ended up
No,
like,
not at all.
yeah, and of course I'm just kind of jokingly saying that to myself, but like I ended up playing like 2-3 hours and not realizing it. So for Starfield and Odyssey, like I know the game's kind of marked for its like bloatedness, but if you just kind of play it in like these short sessions and then just come back to it later, it's pretty fun. Like they give you a good amount to do, and I mean, you have to like the combat, of course, and I like the combat enough, and like just tackling like the strongholds, right? Just like trying to stealth my way through. It's engaging enough. So
What? Which character are you playing?
which one? I'm playing the Cassandra, I think,
Yeah.
and I think on another account, I think the PC account, because that's actually where I started Odyssey. I have what was this guy? I forget the guy. Yeah.
Everybody does because nobody played him.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he had the worst voice.
Alexios or something. Yeah.
Something like that. It's just the worst. Oh, it's just terrible. Yeah, I played him for about 10 minutes and started a whole new game with the other character.
Is that
It's just
bad?
like- it's just annoying. He's like,
Oh,
it's
really?
just very. He's like if Mario was a real plumber, you know, that was Italian that lived in New York. That how he would talk is exactly how this guy talks.
I kind of like those accents, but not everyone is
you're
open-minded.
From New York, right?
Yeah, I'm from New York, Buffalo. I'm from
Right.
Buffalo. Yeah, it's really New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you nailed it. Did you do the voice for?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I
Think,
guess-
I have a question for you. In 1 hour of playtime, how many times do you die in Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Does the game challenge you at all?
I have it set on hard, and I was fighting like the strongholds. They can challenge me, especially when I just get overwhelmed. So I can probably die at least once per hour.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, I think you know like how you say like some stealth games like they don't see like 20 feet in front of them. I think it's better in Assassin's Creed. I think they're pretty good about being like within a viewing distance, maybe not far away.
Like
But
Yeah.
like if they're like down below. And like sometimes you think, oh, they're not going to look up, but then they see
Right.
you like near instantly. Like it's not
Yeah.
like a straight line visual cone for them. It's like they see a good portion of like in front of them.
So they're pushing the boundary of realism a little bit.
A little bit
at
better,
least.
yeah.
I feel like Ghost Recon had some decent AI that had some eyesight in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Ghost Recon, I think it should because a lot
Alright,
of things
it's
are
like-
long range, right?
Right.
I
good
mean,
point.
in Assassin's Creed, it's only like arrows and stuff that are really long range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
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 And
Vic, what else? What else do you do this week?
I mean, I did play the PlayStation Portal, but we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your comments on that.
I'll
yeah.
tell you a couple games I did play, and I'll talk about it more. I played Ratchet and Clank. I played Modern Warfare 1 campaign. I played
It's a good
Doom,
campaign.
and then
Yeah.
I started Tower of Fantasy. Like I had it on my PS5 for a long time, but
Right.
because I really don't play my PS5, that's why I got the Portal, because now I play it a lot more. So,
Oh, really?
Or
That's
maybe
interesting.
it's the novelty. I don't know. Maybe a week later I won't touch it.
Something new.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I'll tell you quickly about my week. So this little, like Sky, I like to champion the little game. There's a little indie game called Fortnite. I don't
Yeah.
think it's self-published by whoever makes it. They
yeah,
self-publish it.
Yeah.
So
Those guys that used to make Unreal Tournament years ago.
yeah, a long
Those
time
guys.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say there's two other times in the game's history where I didn't want to play the game. One was when they decided to make the map like 50% water, and I just felt like it was so annoying to have to like swim through everything, right? That was annoying. I didn't play the game at all during that season. Second time was when glider redeploy happened, and all the high skill players were like crushing low skill players like me. Like you were getting killed by players who had like 24 kills during a match. And I'm like, dude, there's only 100 people on the island. How is this one guy getting right? Because glider redeploy was just it was basically turning the map into a small map because you could get around it so quickly, right? This is another a season where I don't want to play it, all right? Because they're doing this OG season where it's all the old stuff from a long time ago, and it's only 1 month along, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of interesting how my brain works. Like each season, I kind of tell you guys this, we kind of create new traps, right? We're the hardest of hardcore campers. We kind of lure people and we surprise them, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to do that because it's such a short season that I'm like, I don't really want to spend time thinking about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to create something that's
wanna
just
kinda
going to be
get through
taken
it.
away.
Yeah.
I just want the new season to show up. But that's about as much as I did this week. I pontificated on how I don't want to play a game.
Okay.
So
Now, they changed the whole map to be like day one map. Is that
basically every week they're kind of fast forwarding like a few seasons, so it's kind of updating
okay.
quickly.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
it's Fortnite Classic.
It's Fortnite Classic, yeah. I do know, and next week they're going to add the mechs. The mechs are the overpowered items that all the sweats hated. So I'm definitely going to be jumping in during that.
So it's basically a
For sure.
replay remix kind of thing.
Yeah, and I always tell you guys, I always like kind of interesting items, like items you can kind of like you can create new ways to play with them. And I feel like the OG, at least what I've played thus far, it's such a basic standard loadout that there's just nothing to really hook me.
Is
So-
there still no build, or is it just?
They do have no build. Scott knows not to play that. That's not true Fortnite. I don't even want to. I don't want that mode brought up on this podcast going forward. That's how
Okay.
strongly I feel
I
about
see.
no build. All
I
right.
see.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing on podcasts. Oh, once they added no build, I thought Fortnite was good again. No. All right. So that's that.
We'll put that in the notes.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the notes. Let's see. I have listener feedback here. Let me tell you what I wrote down for listener feedback.
Okay.
Before we kick things off, I want to remind listeners that we're thirsty for listener feedback. If you hit us up in the comments, we will comment on your business. Simple and straight to the point,
There you go.
right? Guys, let's jump into the rumors. I have 5 rumors this week.
Wow. Okay.
You ready for this?
Whoa.
All right.
Okay.
Rumor number 1. Last week's Donkey of the Week, Jeff Grubb, said on his Games Mess Morning podcast that Sony's exclusive Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is dead. He says right now no one is working on it at all. Any thoughts? Scott, you're a Star Wars guy. Thoughts?
Good.
Kind of just good.
Yeah.
You want to... Although I think Scott has said in the past this was your favorite Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a lot
Yeah.
of people's favorite Star Wars game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I mean, everybody wants that game updated.
Right.
I don't really think I wanted someone else to remake it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thin line. Like the Dead Space remake, excellent job. I mean, they changed
Right.
so little of that, but you can't expect everybody to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You change one wrong thing, and
Right.
it loses what makes it special. So yeah, I think it's good news.
Thick,
Make
did you
something new.
make something new? I'm with you. And I feel like I can't remember what team had it, but it was not a team that inspired confidence,
It
right?
was Saber. Well,
yeah, it
who
was
had
Saber.
first?
It was Asper or Asper. Studio?
Aspire.
And then they-
Yeah, it
Aspire.
was Aspire. Yeah, yeah. And then they basically said, "We don't know what we're doing," and then they took it from and gave it to
Saber.
Saber.
Saber,
Thanks.
yeah.
I'm thinking it's Saber. Is it Saber Technologies or Saber? Anyway,
Interactive, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah, they're the guys that did the Halo 2 anniversary, which was a
Oh, really?
fantastic. I mean, if you want an example of how to redo a game, that is a
Mm-hmm.
great example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. Completely butchered CE, a travesty to
but
all
Halo
mankind.
2.
Halo 2, yeah, they redeemed themselves in every way. So that was a little hopeful to hear that they had it, but man, I wouldn't want to remake that game. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
have my name on that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, just maybe make a new one,
Right.
But
It would be interesting to be in the room where contracts are being signed, because I think it was supposed to be a PlayStation kind of published game or something, right? Remember they
it
had
was
a
probably going to
showcase?
be, it was probably going to be a timed exclusive for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine Jim Ryan being you're gonna make this for us, right? Here's the paper. You're gonna work on this, and they're like, oh, we're gonna work on it.
Yeah,
we'll get right to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're just in their pajamas or something.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Eating chips. Yeah, man. Let's get to it here in just a
Yeah.
second. So, yeah, I'm sure that's probably what happened.
Yeah. All right. Rumor number 2. The Last of Us Part 2 remastered trailer got leaked. Apparently, the game is hitting in the first half of 2024. Did either of you take a look at this trailer? You did not. It
Seen
looks
it.
like it looks exactly like you think it's gonna look, Scott.
Yeah.
Just same game, high frame rate,
They
a little nicer looking.
this isn't a rumor now, right? Because I think they
Yeah,
released
they've
it
announced
Friday.
it. Yeah, it's going to be out in March,
Oh, did they? They did.
February. Yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
a quick
okay.
leak. That was a very quick
Yeah,
leak.
it was when it leaked.
yeah.
It was not. Everybody assumed that it was going to be a $70 game. And it's going to be marginally better. But no, Sony actually, get this, there's a $10 upgrade. So if you purchase The Last of Us 2 on PS4, or is that right, or a PS5? Either one, maybe
PS4.
both. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pay $10 and get an upgrade, even though Xbox still does that for free. $10 to get whatever they're adding to that. They-
very, very
super
charitable
specific.
of Sony.
Yeah, it's charitable to not make you buy it again at $70.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where
Thank you,
that's
Sony.
Yeah, that's that's the two people going into the office and going, Sony, would you like to offer some money to the poor? And they're like, bah humbug. So
Guys, can I be devil's advocate? Scott, can I be devil's advocate here? All right,
Yeah, go
all right.
ahead.
Sony just gave salaried position, like people at their company salaried positions.
Mm-hmm.
They said, work on this for 3 years,
Yeah.
and then gamers are like, we want it for free. And it's like, well, we've had people working on this for, like, why do you feel entitled to have a free thing that we've been working on for 3 years? You know what I mean?
Maybe because somebody else does it for free. I mean,
Yeah,
if you set the bar, I mean, if you hand out something for free and somebody over there's going, "Hey, we got the same thing.
Look,
it's $10." Where are you going? You going?
I'm
over
with
there.
you. I'm with you that if you do things for free, you should be rewarded for it. That's nice. But just the fact that, like, I don't think you should be punished for, like, yeah, we're gonna charge for the thing that we worked on for 3 years.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree. I think it's
It's
unfair to charge another $70 for a game that you already bought.
Okay, all right, yeah.
You know,
so they're doing
a $10 upgrade. I mean, I've paid a $10 upgrade.
Yeah, the $10 upgrade is fine, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know how they did the $70 first, but now they're doing the $10, so now we feel it's super charitable for some reason, rather than
yeah.
like if they just did a $10 upgrade, I think we'd be complaining about that instead of the 70, right? If they never did the 70 at all, I feel like some people would.
Yeah, some people would probably. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody's going to complain regardless. But
Yeah.
$10, I think, is fine for an upgrade. I mean, I remember paying that for Call of Duty was something or other when I got my Series X. There was something. Was that Cold War? I think it was. No, it was before that. I don't remember. Whichever one was out in 2020, but it hurt a little bit. You know, it's like I paid $60. Now I'm having to pay an extra $10
Right.
when all the other games are free. But yeah, I see it. I mean, you've got to make this isn't a live service game. This is not something that doesn't have cosmetics for Ellie,
Yeah.
inside the game. So it's got to pay for funding of something. And if you want that next game from them, you're going to have to pay a little bit for it. I think it's good that they are only charging, $10, but
Yeah.
and it doesn't it makes them look a little bit better, which they desperately need right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to rumor number 3. Scott, you'll like this one. Dragon's Dogma 2 got rated by the PEGI board 18+ and is scheduled for March 22nd, 2024.
Yep.
Scott, day one. Is this day one?
For me, day one.
Yeah. Day one for you. Thick.
Yeah.
Is this day
Not
one
a pre-order.
for you? Not a pre-order. Okay.
Not pre-order.
I honestly
Day
should
one.
go through Dragon's Dogma, the first one first before I really commit to it. I've tried a couple times, but then I haven't really decided to go deep into it.
I feel like
Interesting.
this is going to fix everything wrong with the first one.
First one.
Yeah, that's what it seems like with all the impressions
Yeah.
from this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And I guess it's coming a little sooner than maybe I expected. I thought maybe late 2024, but
Well,
Yeah, I did too.
There was a rumor with Capcom releasing some sort of
Big
big
budget title in March. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Is this
so was
it?
that?
yeah, that's
But I
what
thought
I'm-
it was an unannounced. I thought it was an unannounced one.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe someone cross wires with that too.
Yeah,
Will they have
yeah.
2 big games?
And maybe it was like unannounced release date. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
who
know.
knows? Well, maybe we'll see at the Keeleys.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
Rumor number 4. You guys are going to like this one because you guys bleed green. Jez Corden of the Xbox 2 podcast, I think it is, says that Xbox will be at the Game Awards, right?
Nice.
Nice. Now, I want each of you to pick one game you want to see from them there. Like, what do you want it to be?
What if it's not a game?
It's a new console? No, it's going to be a game, all right?
You think so?
It's going to be a trailer teasing the new console with a bunch of people saying stuff about it.
That's what
I-
think. I think that. Yeah, I think it's going to be their new console for 2024. That whatever that thing they showed,
Oh,
the
okay, you're
Pringle
right.
can. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
you're
what it's
right.
gonna be. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I hope
Yeah.
there's more than just that, though, right?
I do too. What do
Yeah.
I want? I want
Yes.
a Gears of War collection.
Oh.
And then it's out now.
Right, okay.
That's what I
All right.
want. By
That's
then,
fair
wait,
enough.
when is that? December. I will have a beard by December 7th. It will be.
That's
There we
right.
go.
Long.
Plus 400 pounds of muscle.
Plus,
Don't
I will
forget
try
that.
with 400. I can't.
Yes.
Maybe by then 300.
Okay.
I'll work on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, Thick. Scott did not aim super high with his wants. Can you aim a little higher?
What do you think it's going to be, and what do you want it to be?
For me, I got an easy answer. Oh no, Thick, you go. You go first.
Was it? I think it'll be either more Fable or Hellblade. I feel.
No, it won't be Fable. Won't be Fable.
Yeah,
That one's
I don't
just
think they're gonna
it's
show
cooking
Fable
more.
again.
No.
Yeah,
they're
I
not gonna show
guess.
that again.
I guess like there's no
Yeah.
real settled date on that.
And Hellblade, I mean,
There's a chance.
I mean, there's a chance.
maybe a release date.
Yeah.
Date. Okay, yeah, they could give a release date. For
But yeah,
Hellblade.
I feel
What-
like they've been teasing it too long to where it's kind of fizzling a little bit, right? But,
yeah, the next announcement needs to be a release date.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Perfect Dark? That's what I want to see. I want to see the next Perfect Dark there.
That's
Why are you
even
laughing?
more.
Why are you stop
No.
That's
laughing?
No,
even
because
less viable
I
than
don't-
Fable.
Yeah, I don't know if that game's ever getting released. I don't.
Well, I hope you're
I
wrong.
have my worries.
I hope
I do too. I hope it releases and it's great. But
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hold my breath. You're saying that.
yeah,
Guys, is it true that it's December 7th or the Game Awards?
yes.
That's that's not very far away. That's in 3
No,
weeks.
it's not. We're just weeks away from Christmas.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait.
Who knew that this podcast would be steamrolling all these big events?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
Nowhere else to get news like this from any other
I
podcast.
know, right?
Yeah.
Let me
Like
add
none.
one
There's
thing
none
that I
none
kind of
anywhere.
hope that it could be, and this is just wishful thinking, but like
Mm-hmm.
you know how there's Perfect Dark, and
Mm-hmm.
they were looking to revive StarCraft. I would love it if they just turned the Perfect Dark into StarCraft Ghosts, because I think they are very similar in sort of like idea.
It's a whole lot of new art, though. It's a whole lot of
Man,
new
that would
art.
be-
It is, but
What if they? What if they did both? What if they did a crossover?
I'm not entertaining this anymore. I'm moving on to
StarCraft Ghost is 20 years old, or announced 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
Hey, StarCraft 3. Maybe.
you
I
know,
don't know.
there was
That's
this one
probably
thing
not.
actually, like they were saying that the first payable mount in WoW, basically there was more return on investment on that than StarCraft Wings of Liberty. Like,
Wow, really?
yeah,
Wow.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough.
I love that IP. I just don't want another RTS. I don't want another RTS. And it
I don't
sounds
either.
like
I
yeah.
don't either. I think that 2 is fine. I think it doesn't really need it. But that world is
So
rich.
awesome.
It
So
needs
awesome.
something else. Yeah. We
Yes.
need like a multiplayer. We need like a Battlefield type
Yes.
first person.
I'm with
boots
you.
on the boots
Yeah.
on the ground. Starfield. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what we're getting.
That's what we're getting. Confirmed here first.
That's why they're there. Either that or all. Well, that stuff's not going to go to Game Pass until next year. But I don't know.
Rumor number 5. According
I
to
forgot
Daniel
about
RPK, Marvel's Wolverine is aiming for a 2025 release, has a darker, more violent tone, and will feature the southeast city called Madripoor. Scott, do you know what Madripoor is? Are you that much of a Marvel?
That sounds familiar, but Madripoor. Yeah, that's yeah. If I remember, that's like a seedy, like a
Cyberpunk?
no. It's just like a it's kind of like a Mos Eisley in Star Wars. You know, just where all the seedy people like go for like weapons deals and stuff like that. If I remember correctly, I'm probably getting
Okay.
corrected right now. Somebody's like click 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 click. But yeah, that's what it sounds. That would be. I would say that's probably more realistic. I've heard 2024 way too many times. I don't think
Yeah.
this thing's.
No.
If it was 2024, they'd be showing it before the year's end. They want Spider-Man 2 to have its limelight and to have its, when everybody finishes it in 30 hours and then it's moved on. December, January, they'd start showing it. But if we haven't seen anything by then, it's going to be 2025.
yeah. I feel like we might get like DLC for Spider-Man 2 before we even see Wolverine.
I think so too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a new suit. Maybe a new suit with different colors on it.
Right.
You're very excited
Hey.
for that, Nate.
Oh my gosh. I hate click on those stories. Look at these 30 suits that you can have. You can find them throughout the city, the 30 suits. Wow.
In the first Spider-Man, I think I unlocked, God, probably about, I don't know, 12 or 13 of them. I wore one of them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I just wore the standard, not the one that comes with the game. I hate that. It looks like something Reebok made. But
Yeah.
the cartoon version, I mean, the comic version. I wore that through the whole game. I thought
Was
it
that the one with
perfect.
the low frame rate?
No. It was just
Oh.
like the standard blue and
Oh,
red.
okay.
Yeah. But That's you're probably right. It's like,
Okay.
oh, new costumes have been scattered across Manhattan.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw
some of it does kind of look cool. Was it the one that's like kind of from Into the Spider-Verse? Like that. It's like
Yeah,
another
that's the one I was talking about where it has like a 24 frames per second vibe
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can give you a headache after a while.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Guys, let's get to the drop. Scott,
Let's do
you have a big story this week. This is a big one.
It's a little big. I mean, we've been
Yeah.
talking about it. It's the game. It's the
Yeah.
the Keeleys. We're calling the Keeleys. And we have the nominations. The nominations are out, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them because I don't think all of them are really relevant. But
Yeah.
of course, the game of the year. I think these are fine. Where are they? I just had them. Nominees, and the nominees are. And you guys might, you might agree with some of these. I don't know, but we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's
agree.
Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 remake. I have to say that because that's not listed. Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So-
We're gonna hear Thick's thoughts on that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably not his pick for game of the year, just
No.
due to lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I'm not really happy about a remake being on there because
Right.
Resident Evil 4 has already won that. But
What should have replaced it? Starfield?
Hogwarts probably.
yeah, I would say Hogwarts could have been a contender. But I know they probably don't want to touch that.
No.
Unfortunately,
all.
that
Imagine J.K. Rowling coming out accepting the award. She'd get a lot of stuff thrown at her on the
yeah.
stage.
Yeah, that would be. They don't want to mess with that. But I think
She's
that's
gonna be the Bill Clinton kid. She's gonna run up on the stage. Should have been Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah.
right. Where's my
Yeah.
game? Where's my game?
Right.
But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid for this year. I would love to see Baldur's Gate 3 win.
I think
just
it will.
don't- You think it's going to win Game of the Year? I think it
Yeah.
deserves it.
It's gonna.
I think it's going to be Alan Wake 2.
That's my dark horse. Like if it's not this, it's that.
I
Yeah.
do like. I don't know. Alan Wake 2 kind of strikes me as like high art, like a culmination of.
Yeah.
You disagree?
I think
I
I
agree with you. Yeah. I'm
I
having
think
a
the
hard
people
time playing
voting,
it.
the people voting love that stuff though, I feel
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah, but like in terms of popularity, I guess probably Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I see winning from the Keeleys.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
no, you're wrong. You're out of line. You're out of line, Thick.
He could be right. I would be surprised. Not really surprised that it would, but to me that's just it's not. I don't think it has the impact that the first one did.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's more of an add-on, yeah. But then again, there's Resident Evil remake. Who knows? I mean, that could win. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I have not played this game. I have seen very little of this. I can't really.
I don't think
say
that
to
one really
that.
deserves to be on here either.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Not that it's a bad game. It's just
Yeah.
there's other games that should have taken that. I feel like maybe that's the Hogwarts Legacy fill-in that they didn't want to touch, but because it's not nominated for anything.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because the people that worked on that obviously loved that
Right.
game and did a fantastic job. Okay, so then best game direction. Now this is the one that's confusing to me, and I'll give you that. It's Alan Wake 2.
Wait, one thing. Let's go back to
Yep.
the game of the year.
Yeah.
Starfield.
Game of the year.
Not on there. Big
No, it's not.
hubbub with a lot of people. I mean, I kind of agree with it not being on there either. Doesn't mean it's a bad game, but
No. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my game of the year.
yeah.
I enjoyed it, but not really my game of the year. So yeah, it could have been number 7 or number 8 out of their pick. Who knows? But
Yeah.
but game direction. So Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers, and Tears of the Kingdom. So what exactly is game direction? Like it says, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. This one I think is a hard pick because, when I'm watching a movie and, like it's a Steven Spielberg movie. I know it's a Steven Spielberg movie because of the the way that the camera moves, the way that the dialogue moves, the way that the lighting is. It has a certain way. It has a certain look and feel, and because it's one person behind that camera that's making that movie, they have a vision and they can kind of push that along. With the game, I think it's hard to like. I don't think it's the same thing, right? I don't know. What do you guys think this means? I mean, I know it means game direction, but there is a game director for each one of these games. I don't think that that's really what they mean. Question mark?
I feel like it's more like how they kind of like changed the formula kind of thing. Like I think this is the kind of thing that I think about when I think about game of the year. Like something like Alan Wake 2. Like the guy has a very focused direction of what he wants to take the game, and I think it shows within the game itself.
Sam Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
But, well, I mean, but like Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, there is a studio lead. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that, if you see Larian Studios, it's him. But I'm not positive he's the game director on the game. And same thing with the other ones. I don't know. It just seems like a strange category.
It is.
I'm not,
It is.
downing on it. It's just, I don't know.
I kind of take it like, how like games like kind of hold your hand, to varying
Spider-Man
degrees. I feel like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, all these games are like, I'm going to take the player's hand and I'm going to guide them through like my vision. So like kind of what Thick said, like Alan Wake 2 is like, that is like, whoever's writing that game, that's their vision, right? Yeah. Whereas I feel like maybe Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of like it has a little looser hold on the player, maybe, or a little.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to take a step back.
That's the point. The vision is that the player gets to decide what they want to do, and I think that's the vision.
It's more. You feel like more like the player is the director. Of that,
right?
As opposed to like Spider-Man and Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting. The only there's a couple of game directors that I think of, like when somebody says like game director, like Cory Barlog always comes to mind. When making the God of War redo.
Yeah,
everybody said, "Oh, I just go to ask Cory." But other than that, there's and of course, with Starfield, it's
Todd Howard,
the leather jacket, Todd Leather Jacket Howard.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, like Kojima has his distinct vibe to his games,
another
right?
One, right?
Yeah,
right. He is. He's the guy that comes in and goes, no, take that out. That won't work. Right.
My crazy vision is going to be in this game, not market research vision, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is best narrative. Again, Alan Wake 2. Again, Baldur's Gate 3. Again, Spider-Man 2, with the addition of Cyberpunk 2077: Phantom Liberty, which is a DLC. And Final Fantasy 16. So, I have played Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and none of the other ones.
Wait a second, Scott. So you've played Alan Wake 2. I feel like we haven't really heard you talk too much about it.
Is
that because you're not
going?
You're not blown away by it.
I don't want to play it.
Oh, really?
It's good, but I mean, it's also, I don't know. It's a game for me. You kind of just have to be in the mood for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I have heard on a podcast, which I was surprised to hear, that they're like, you have to play Alan Wake 1 to really appreciate Alan Wake 2. I feel like most sequels to games is like, oh, it's a great starting point.
Yeah. I did watch a follow-up, not a follow-up, but a
summary,
a catch-up.
Yeah.
And it was just as weird and just as, I mean, I think you can, but it's so far out there and Twilight Zone-y that.
Oh, really?
I don't think it does matter. There's some things that you're going to get, but the quality of the game is very well done.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it is just so limiting of what you can do and what you're doing, and it just feels a little hollow to me.
Okay.
It's very pretty. Presentation is like 10 out of 10.
Oh.
Everything else to me is like just kind of really just drops.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like any of these voters vote on games that they think need a bump or could most benefit from a bump in sales or in advertising a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Because I feel like
think-
Alan Wake is like kind of like that darling type company who's like, if we
Yeah.
can just kind of like build them up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo's Nintendo, Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I hate Remedy's games."
No,
Um,
no,
Yeah. That's a fantastic studio.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure that there's the people that vote on these things are basically part of the industry and games media, which I feel
Boo.
like, I feel like if you are in games media, then you've already had your voice,
Yeah.
and you got your dollars for that.
yeah.
So
Gamers rise up. Gamers rise up.
if this was based on people like us, like the people that actually
Yeah.
played the games, bought the games, paid money for them, I think this would be a completely different show.
It'd be all Sony. That's what I'm gonna say. You ever look at
If it
the
was
Well, I mean,
gamers?
it's possible because aside from PC players, there's more people playing PlayStation right now than Nintendo and Xbox.
if you
these awards-
if you give a poll to any gamer, it's gonna be mostly Sony. I'm gonna just say that. If you ever look at the polls on IGN, all Sony.
They're all
bias.
Sony, really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're mostly Sony biased there.
Yeah.
They think that gaming is synonymous with Sony,
Yeah.
and not all of us think that way.
Right. Some of us are free thinkers.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's not about
I'm gonna fix this problem that all three of us have addressed. What I think we should do is just create an AI that just measures engagement metrics for these games, and just award games based on those metrics.
done.
And like have a robot voice. Don't have Jeff Keighley up there. Just have a robot voice. Go up and be like,
I would like that better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe get that. What's that voice of that science fiction movie where he's like, Michael, you can't leave the house. Like, what is that?
Odyssey,
1980.
right?
Is it Space
2000
Odyssey?
Yeah, Space Odyssey.
2001. Hal 9000.
Hal can't. Oh, okay.
Why
Yeah.
are you doing that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All
Why
right.
are you voting that?
Yeah.
Winner for best direction is
The metrics say
Wait.
otherwise. The metrics say otherwise.
right.
Scott, was that your last with the Game Awards? Or is there another topic?
There's just one more there's best art direction, and then there's best score and music, and then best audio design. I mean, this is
Go to best ongoing game. This one irks me.
this is
This
is
is
the
a
one
dirty. This is
I'm
a dirty.
it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a category best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that involves the player experience over time. This is not a definition of a game, period, but okay. So here we've got Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a live service game. Final Fantasy 14, which is it's an MMO. Fortnite, your favorite.
The GOAT.
Yeah, Genshin Impact, Dick's favorite.
Debatable.
And Cyberpunk 2077. So
One of those is not like the other.
yeah, one of them kind of stands out as getting one DLC, and then they'll never work on it again. So
Yeah.
what exactly is there? This is why the Game Awards, to people that enjoy gaming of all types, not just one format.
Yeah.
Ponder the possibility that maybe this is just marketing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
We come
So
for the
Cyberpunk-
trailers.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I watch it. But yeah, the Cyberpunk 2077, I don't feel like is an ongoing game. They got one DLC, unless they're talking about patches. Like they could be talking about patches, like that thing that got a lot of patches because it needed them. So I don't know.
And
I don't know
it
about
coincided with the DLC. Is there not something else that's more like this isn't really ongoing support, right? Like that's
No,
that's
it's
not
not.
how I
They've-
define it.
They've said that they had some other DLC planned. They're not doing it. They after this one they will continue to patch here and there, but they are moving the entire franchise to Unreal 5 to work on their next game. They've said that. They've said it's not, So yeah, it's out. It was ongoing is not ongoing at all.
Okay,
So
what should
it
be
just
in
looks
its
weird.
place? What do you think should be in its place?
I would say Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves
Oh.
that game has tons of content.
I don't know about this year because they've been on one season for a while, from what I understand.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have had no. They just got a new season, didn't they?
Yeah,
thought
but
they
like
just got a new
season
season.
8 lasted like 9-12 months, so it didn't
Really?
really.
Because
Yeah,
I get I'm on the newsletter,
Ah,
so
okay.
and it just seems like I get content from that, or unless they're trying to tell me that they've got new content. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
yeah.
But,
The Sea of Thieves community is pretty salty. I'm on the subreddit. I don't actually like play very often, but I just see pop-ups on my feed.
Can I say something about this? Now, you guys know I'm a sociopath. I check on live service numbers like way more than a healthy person would.
yeah, you
I
probably
feel like
could.
in the right.
Yeah,
right.
right.
But I feel like in the last like month I've looked at Sea of Thieves numbers because I'm like, oh, that game was kind of interesting to me for a while. Those numbers, at least on Steam, and I know some people are like, well, it's not Steam, it's an Xbox game. Those numbers have taken a dip over the last like 6 months. Like that game is
Yeah.
not doing great right now.
Is it not? Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like you kind of have to see players kind of embrace the game in order to.
Well, it says for ongoing content and involves the player experience over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So,
it's tough because you need just a crazy person who's like, I play all the live service games. I know how
Yeah.
to accurately judge this. Yeah.
right. I mean, if you use that description, you could say Battlefield 2042. I mean,
Right.
they're on season 7. They've had some really good content lately, although one
Right.
gameplay last
Yeah,
season
I
was
would
kinda
say
weird, but
honestly, now I think about it, Halo. Just replace it with Halo.
Halo
Yeah.
Infinite, that would be a good one. Yeah, we just
I
started a
see,
new
Nate.
season. They're adding.
Nate, you okay? You need a bag there?
I'll manage.
Okay.
I don't have
Well,
to. I
that
don't
is-
have to. I don't have to say what's in my head all the time. I can just keep some things in
Well,
my
Okay.
head.
that's a good game to look at, not on Steam, and look at Xbox numbers because
Yeah, it's getting beat by Dead by Daylight.
on
mean,
Steam. Yeah.
No, on Xbox. On Xbox, it's getting beat by Dead by Daylight. A pay-to-play
What?
game is beating a free-to-play game.
Oh wow.
Go check it. I'm a
that's
sociopath.
hard.
You know I'm a
No, I
sociopath,
get it.
all right?
I believe you. It's just
I don't even know
that
if I'm
just doesn't
accurate.
seem right. Well, either way, Cyberpunk 2070. Maybe that was just we can't find a better option.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't a better one out there.
Right.
It's not Destiny 2.
Diablo 4.
Or
Dude, maybe it's High Res Studios Paladins. That's a callback to last episode when I referenced that game.
Let's not talk about that game again.
Listeners are gonna like that.
I'll give you a bonus category. And this.
Oh, by the
this
way,
is funny.
Paladin's more popular than Halo Infinite. By the way, okay,
up.
don't check that, but just believe me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
check it right now.
The best community support. One of them is Destiny 2. This was obviously picked before, that whole thing blew up. I'm sure. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. Anyway, but yeah, the Game Awards. I don't look at this as, I would love to see my favorite game there, but it doesn't matter to me if it's there or not. I don't care. This is marketing. It has really nothing to do with, it's a popularity contest.
Well, Scott, to add on to your point, you know how we were just talking about Hogwarts Legacy didn't get nominated for anything?
Right.
I thought I read a news story this week saying it was the #1 best-selling game of 2023.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what do you want? Do you want your awards from this like weird, group of people, or do you want just bang on sales?
No,
I think those people are probably happy with. Okay, we made a lot of money. We achieved our
really
bonuses.
care to have any awards. I don't think that I think when a game comes out and it's reviewed by well, I want to say respectable media, but that's getting I don't know who is anymore.
Yeah.
But just judged by on its merits at that point.
Right.
know.
Right.
Later on, game of the year, I don't know. I don't really care. I just really don't.
No.
I know. I kind of have a feeling what's going to win. It's just like watching the Oscars. It's like if Meryl Streep is nominated for Best Actress or she's in a movie that's nominated for Best Picture, you can go home. You're done.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Right.
I remember being a kid and going, Why is Return of the Jedi not up there as Best Picture? Because it was obviously the best picture of the year, right?
Yeah. What won that year, Scott? What,
No, I
1973?
did. I had to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was.
You had to go to bed.
at school next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like it's not. That's not why I watch it. Now, I will say that the overall Game Awards is it's fun to watch. It does celebrate gaming in a non-Spike TV way.
Yeah.
Right.
Where if you guys remember those,
Yeah.
it is getting mature. But I think that still, I said this last year, Keeley needs a host. He needs somebody to host this thing. He's terrible at it. He can do whatever
say
he wants.
something. Scott is saying
What about-
controversial
no,
statements.
Listen.
He
Listen.
needs to stop
okay.
it.
The Game Awards start. Keeley comes out, says thanks for coming, blah blah blah, and now here's
Here's
who?
Billy Crystal. Here's Billy Crystal.
Honestly,
Henry
Out of
Cavill.
retirement.
let's
What about
get
Henry Cavill? What about Laura Bailey?
Bill
Nolan
Clinton.
North.
All right. Or the kid.
No, no, no.
Somebody
I'm
that
talking about
doesn't
Bill
look
Clinton
like a
himself.
ninth grade English teacher or a manager at Panera Bread, it's just somebody that understands games, is kind of into industry or is
Yeah.
in the industry, but is
Scott.
presentable that.
Scott, are you a free thinker? Are you a free thinker? Can your mind change when presented with new information?
No.
All right, that wasn't convincing, but I'm still gonna offer up a point.
Okay.
I feel like Jeff Keighley, he definitely loves video games, right? He definitely loves the medium. So when you
Yeah,
get
I get
I
it.
know Henry Cavill does too, and I just feel like getting there are celebrities like Terry Crews and Henry Cavill, and there are like celebrities who are already rich, and they're like, yeah, I game a little bit, but I feel like, Keeley is he's like one of us. He's just like, you don't feel that way?
I don't get that at all. No, I don't.
He was one of us.
He,
You don't get that.
no, I seriously don't. Not that
Scott is
he
not a free thinker. He's not a free thinker.
No, I just don't think. I think that you, if you, this thing's big. He works on this all year.
Yeah.
This,
It's his baby. It's his baby.
it's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So
It's not Henry Cavill's baby.
No, it's not. But
No.
You want somebody. I just feel like there should be somebody that. Now he did try this once. Now I will give you that. And then,
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale. It was terrible. It was god awful.
Yeah.
It was just cringy and stupid, and I get that, but it doesn't have to be somebody that's funny. I think Laura Bailey would do a fantastic job. I mean, she's done the voice of a lot of people's favorite characters and a lot of people's hated characters, and she's not bad to look at. He's just doesn't have any. He doesn't have any stage presence.
I've never wanted someone to stop talking as much as I have with Scott right now. And Thick, you're not helping me out, but
I'm not trying to.
no.
See, he agrees with me.
I
I think it would be better. I'm just saying. I think it would be better.
Jeff Keighley has one Achilles heel, and I think I'm using that phrase correctly. It's his darn shoes. The shoes
God.
irk me a little bit. The shoes irk me a little bit. But other than that, he's a perfect human. He's a true gamer.
Okay.
True gamer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wonder
Alright.
who's going to come up on stage this time to interrupt him.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was.
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's happened 2 times now, right?
2 times. Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you saw
really
this
need to-
tweet about it's just a joke tweet. Well, they'll have armed guards and they will be shot on sight.
Well, they should have guards in tuxedos.
Yeah.
That keep the people on stage safe, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
we all know that how people get about their games.
Right.
Yeah.
Thick.
So
Once again, I am asking you to save the podcast.
How so?
Please talk about a piece of hardware that came out this week.
Okay, so PlayStation Portal remote player. Got to put that in there.
Yes.
Came out Wednesday, and there's a few news bits about this right now. I'll give you my impressions in a little bit, but it's sold out now. Sold out within 2
Right.
days.
yeah.
And there might be cloud gaming come to it instead of just remote playing from your PS5. Because right now you need a PS5 to play it.
Yes.
But what the let me check his name. I'm not sure if I'm going to say it correctly.
Is it a reputable person?
Yeah, he's like the head of platform experience. So he's like, like
okay.
probably related to the accessories and everything. But
Yeah.
Nishino added that Sony wants to make the whole system stable enough to support the handheld cloud streaming before they decide to make it available to consumers. So they want it stable enough because right now they do have PS5 streaming, and from what I hear, it's pretty good right now. I don't know if you've tried it. I don't know if you have the option to. You probably need the PS Plus like premium to do it, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, there's been good impressions.
You can't stream from your PS5 unless you have premium?
No. I'm talking about cloud gaming. Gaming.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, because right now there's no cloud gaming on it. It's only remote. You can stream, from your PS5, and I don't think you need any sort of service with it. I could be wrong. I don't think it's premium though. It could be the base, but I think it's because most people
they just said your Xbox just has to be on.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the only stipulation.
But the cloud gaming, it might get in the future. They don't have it right now because they still want to make sure it's more stable.
Right.
So that's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But in any case, like a lot of reviews have been mostly saying it's better than expected. There's a lot of people just saying like this is a device for no one. I think that's probably a little bit exaggeratory. But I think it's to me, my impression is this is. You want a PlayStation Portal if you just want to play on a bigger screen with comfort for remote play. And I already do remote play, and that's kind of what I am doing with it. Because the way I can kind of justify it is I'm paying partly for the DualSense controller, and I'm paying for the screen. Because it's a full functional DualSense controller for the most part. The touchpad, you have the touchpad on the controller. It's just a touch screen, kind of.
Right.
Like they have little prompts on the screen to allow you to do that. But it pretty much mimics the same thing. Like when I'm playing Modern Warfare, I get the rumble features and everything, and it feels fine.
Thick, can I ask you a question? Maybe you're going to get to this, but when you're playing it, do you feel that latency?
So in first-person shooters like Modern Warfare and Doom, because I wanted to try Doom, because Doom was also on Stadia, by the way, and Doom was what they wanted to showcase to say, hey, our tech is ready.
Right.
But the thing with Stadia is they tuned their game specifically for cloud gaming. So like Doom is probably, it might be a little bit more forgiving in some ways, or like the way that it's responsive.
Yeah. Like the Stadia version?
Yeah, the Stadia version. Yeah. Like it's a ported version enhanced for cloud gaming.
Okay.
Interesting.
But then, in this case, this is just, your basic Doom. You're just playing it for in console, but you're introduced a certain level of latency.
Camera's slow.
Hi, Scott.
My frame rate is like dropping. So the version, so obviously the version that you played
is the PS5
streaming
version.
is just the PS5 version.
Yes.
So could you tell the difference?
I could feel the latency.
Yeah.
I could feel it definitely a lot more than I did with Stadia, and something with like Luna as well. Like it's basically not cloud gaming, right? It's dependent on more factors than cloud gaming, because you probably have more variations in your home environment, like your PS5 to your router, and then the router back to your PlayStation Portal. Funny enough, I'll tell you, I did try Doom at work. Because one thing with the PlayStation Portal is you can play on Wi-Fi elsewhere, and it'll just connect to your PS5 at home.
Right.
So how'd that go?
Yeah.
I was very surprised, and also work has really good Wi-Fi, right? So, but I was very surprised at the quality. It was very stable, extremely stable, and from what I can tell, is the PlayStation has really kind of have gotten years of experience with Gaikai so far. So I think this is like the culmination of all that. Like they've really learned to like improve it. And what I kind of noticed is it prioritizes latency and maybe sound, or like just kind of like some soft like visual integrity. But that
kind of gets downturned.
like that's the priority, right? But
Yeah.
the resolution, they'll drop it. Like there's some
Right,
cases where now it wasn't like this at work. It's actually a little more like this at home, where the resolution drops to probably like 720 or 480 even.
Rough. Yeah.
But yeah.
For a few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, for a few seconds. Sometimes I actually have to reconnect, and then they'll be fine again. But I mean, that could improve over time. It's not a deal breaker to me, mostly because I'm familiar with how remote play is. Like I understand the caveats to it.
Yeah.
But I'd say for people that want to consider this, they should just try the remote app on their phone first, because you can actually just use the touchpads on the phone to kind of mimic some of the controls. Like you don't need to try anything fancy, but see how the latency and quality is on your phone, and then
Because
decide.
it's going to mirror that. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
mirror
think
that.
you'll mirror it very similarly, because I think they've been pretty good with just remote experience.
I know I've clicked on some threads where people are talking about this, and they give like, here's what you need to do when you buy the Portal, and they give like 6 things. You need to go into your modem, and you need to shift your mode from 5 gigahertz to 2 point. And each one, I'm like, oh, that's going to take me 20 minutes. That's going to take me 20 minutes. That's going to take me 30 minutes. That one's going to take me 2 days because I'm going to get stuck on it, right?
Yeah, I
Well,
think. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that you may have to do that. It really just depends on your router. A lot of gaming routers will, if you're using something that detects something like remote play, where you're transferring a lot of data over that wireless, it will give it priority over other things.
Yeah.
But it's not going to do it instantly. It's not going to do it like when you take it out of the box and you start doing it, and it just
You
got to
go set it up.
No, it will do it automatically. It just it may take several hours for it to go, okay, this is streaming, this may be a movie, this may be a game, we don't know, but we're going to give it or some you do have to go into the router and say, this is my new device, give
Right.
it priority, so
Yeah.
that when you're especially if you live alone, if you're downloading something on your computer but you want to play on your on your PlayStation, it's going to give it priority over that download.
Yeah.
So
Right now, your Samsung fridge might have priority over your Wi-Fi.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, depending on how you set it up. A lot of people have shown on Twitter that it's like it's latent. It's very latency. Not latency. It's got a lot of latency to it. But then a lot of people have commented like, "Hey, mine did too," but the next day I tried it again and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So that's where you're, where that
Yeah. There's a lot of factors.
$50 router that's kind of kicking in. Yeah, there's a lot of factors to it, and it is some of them you do have to have some prior knowledge to IT to go in and
Yeah.
set it to where it works better. I remember doing the same thing with the Vita. The Vita, I played remote play on the Vita. I'd play in the, I had the PS4 in the living room, and I'd be in the bedroom, playing on my Vita. But I had to set priority manually for that device so that it would, stream a little bit better.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who said like, "Oh, it just works"? Is that Todd Howard
Todd
or is that
Howard.
Steve Jobs? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that guy did not create the Portal.
Yeah, he doesn't do hardware.
He does.
Hardware
he's-
never just works.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. So you went to work and you just basically like logged into your wireless network, right?
Yeah, so I have control of the wireless network at work, like, because I just have a separate network. But like, if it was like a hotel or something where you have a web page to go to,
Yeah, that's
it
what I
would
was
not
going to.
it would not work, because
Yeah,
there's no web browser.
That's a problem. That's a
Yeah.
huge problem. Yeah.
Why how could anyone create a device that does that?
So I think part of it is that
Well,
What's
they
it-
don't want you logging into your GeForce G Now account and,
yeah,
play it on that or Xbox Cloud or
I think it's also
Oh,
a
so it's a
vector for
security-
exploitation as well, because I think that's
Oh,
what
really?
happened with like the early consoles, right? I think the original Wii, you could exploit the console by using the browser.
Oh.
Yeah. I think the Xbox One you could as well, because they took the browser off for a little bit. It just like you got up one morning, and it's like, where's the browser? And
Internet
then,
Explorer.
a couple of weeks later, it was
Yeah.
back again. Like, so, yeah. I mean, there's some factors to that, but that's That's the issue I would have with it. If you want to go to Starbucks and you and your friend drink coffee and play a game, you're not going to.
Yeah.
You know, the limitation to it is it's like you said, if you want to sit in your bed or you want to lay in bed and play a game and stream it, you know, with almost no latency, that's who that's for. But
Yeah.
that's only who that's for, right?
Yeah, I think there's limited use case. But I mean, if you can get solid Wi-Fi elsewhere, I think it's decent. But I would not take this instead of my Switch somewhere, right? So
Yeah, like if you were going on a business trip or something, that's probably not the thing you want to grab.
yeah, but if I were say like go to like family for like just Thanksgiving or something, I'd consider bringing this and just like play a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the family's talking politics, Switch slowly takes out his portal.
The portal is pretty wide, and it's pretty light. It's like a little bit over a pound, but like you know when you hold it with two hands, like it doesn't feel that heavy, right? Because like I think a iPhone 14 or the newer ones are pretty heavy, but you're just holding with one hand most of the time. So, but when you split it over two hands, it's it's fine.
Well, this is probably lighter than a Steam Deck, right?
Definitely lighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever do the thing where like you're looking at a handheld or a phone and then you drop it on your face. No?
Oh yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, I've done that.
Don't drop a Steam Deck on your face.
I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
I would have never admitted that.
You drop a Steam Deck on your face, then like what is it? The fire
It's like
company
you
has to
break
bring the
your
jaws of
nose.
life. They have to bring
Yeah.
the jaws of life.
Yeah, people like
get
smelling their
those-
Steam Decks, so maybe that's what it's
right.
for.
Oh, can I tell you guys a real quick story?
Yeah,
Yesterday, I'm walking a dog. The dog poops. I bend over to pick the poop up. The phone falls in the poop. You're having a rough time when that happens, you know?
Man.
I think your phone is poop proof, right?
Yeah, I gotta get it
Poop resistant.
exchanged.
Poop resistant. Okay,
Man.
it's not rated
Like
for
that's-
it.
That's when you go and say, I need a new phone. And when they grab it, they go, what's wrong? I said, I fell in dog poop. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that Seinfeld episode. Remember with the book that went into the bathroom? They're like, we know this book has been in the bathroom. You can't return this book, right? But yeah.
Well, yeah,
all right.
I'm sure the portal's going to be in the bathroom a lot as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But what is so? Are you? I guess you're happy with this thing. It sounds like you're playing your PlayStation 5 a lot more than you were before.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Like okay, so my TV's behind me and my computer's here, and sometimes I'm doing stuff on my computer, and I don't want to just turn around all the time and just play stuff and then be distracted from the computer, so I just have it on the side
Right.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's ideal. You think they'll support it? You think this is something that
They don't need to. They don't need to support it.
They
we'll
do.
see-
They
we'll
need
see.
They need to figure out the way around. You know, I don't know, connecting to wireless networks.
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
So
if it gets cloud gaming, I think the value proposition goes a lot higher.
Yeah, that will make it that update should just be a bull.
Yeah.
So they can add it to the portal.
But I mean, right now it's sold out. Some people are saying, "Oh, just wait for a price drop." I don't know if it'll get a price drop if it continues to
Well,
sell.
I mean, it's made by Sony. I mean, they could just, you know, I don't know. They could just sell pretty much anything and put their name on it, and it would get sold out. But
Yeah.
we don't know how much actually shipped either, so
That's
that
true.
could be a
Yeah,
factor.
it could be very limited right now.
I got a quick question before we move off this topic. Give me in 5 years or whenever, 10 years down the road, they're going to announce sales figures for this thing. What do you think it hits? Scott and Thick, how many millions of units does this thing sell? If it's that high?
More than the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe.
So-
maybe.
That's over 5 to 6 million.
Yeah,
That's
I
over.
would say it'd probably hit 7 or 8 million.
It
Okay,
could.
so just
yeah.
just under 10, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just personally, and I know how Nate's going to take this, but I think it's something that's a little niche. That's like, oh, we got something, we got something out for the holiday. It's cool. It's got
It's a
screen on it.
stocking
It's
stuffer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then this time next year it won't be something. I mean, they'll still have them. They'll be available, but it's not going to be something that they're pushing. It'll be something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a genius idea. It's just, I wish it personally. I wish it wasn't so limiting.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say if it's genius, but I wish it did a little bit more
They're
for the
sold out?
price. But yeah,
I
but I mean that's
marketing
that's the
standpoint, not
Sony
technology.
hype. So
Yeah, make something that's like seems to be cutting edge technology, but really isn't, and make it sleek and designable and match all your other stuff.
Yeah.
Will sell beautifully. Who else does that? I wonder. Anyway,
Yeah. All right. I guess you, Thick. We're not moving on until you give us a number. Give us a Metacritic
yeah,
score on
give
this
us a
thing.
grade.
I get-
IGN gave it an 8, even though he did say he couldn't connect anywhere but home.
I thought they gave it a 7. I would give it a 7.
Give it a
7?
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a very specific use case, but you have to just kind of know what you're getting. If you like that, if you want that sort of remote play option and you want to play comfortably, this is probably the best way to do it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it have a USB-C port?
Yes.
Can you connect it directly to your PS5 and use it as a controller?
I don't think so. No.
Really?
I feel like I've also read that you cannot do that, but I don't know.
So sometimes I
seems
switch between
wrong.
both. Like if I turn on that PlayStation Portal while the PS5 is on, my DualShock, my DualSense turns off, and I mean the TV is still on,
Yeah.
but now I'm remote playing, so that it kind of just does that.
Okay. Well, I just thought it would be cool if you could just use it as an extra controller. If somebody came over or something, you can.
Unfortunately,
pick-
no.
Then you could pick your plays on Madden on it. Like, oh, don't look at my run
If they-
plays.
I know. Well, that's something cool about the Vita. There's a couple of games that you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it seems like the Xbox One had something similar as well.
The Wii
with
U
their,
had
with their
something similar.
smart glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could use a tablet or something. You actually use it in the game. It did not work very well.
Yeah.
But this was 20 years ago, or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If they could implement something like that,
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
Bring back smart glass. Yeah.
Bring back that functionality. I always thought it'd be cool to just if you could do something on your phone as you're playing the game to manipulate it in some way, even just your inventory.
Did you ever try smart glass in Battlefield 4?
Yes, it did not work great.
Ah, okay.
It worked and then it didn't. It's kind of like when it first came out, it was like, okay, now it's live and you can use it. And then after that, it seemed to just be kind of hit and miss, and then they just forgot about it.
Yeah. The Division was supposed to have something similar, but they cut it out.
Yeah, they did a last minute. They were going to do that. That was going to be really cool. Somebody's going to have like a drone and be able to, hey, there's guys on the roof.
Yeah.
I got to go back to work. I'm in a meeting. you know.
That's
Awkward.
It. That's it. That's it.
Back to you, Nate.
Yeah, back to you.
All right. Guys, Thick, I want to thank you, first of all, for saving the podcast. So you
Okay.
absolutely did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for getting a portal for us so that
Yeah.
For our stockings.
I do it
Great
for a team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait. Can't wait till I get that in the mail. Thick. Thank you. You're a nice person. All right, guys, I have two news stories, so I'm throwing you a curveball. All right. I know you guys can handle a curveball. All right.
Maybe.
Sure.
News story number 1. The Suicide Squad got a 20-minute story and gameplay trailer. The internet seems pleased. This game is releasing February 2nd, 2024. I'm going to tell you something. The internet it's moronic. The internet is so freaking stupid. All right. This is literally all they did with this story, with this trailer. First of all, they turned into that Starfield type trailer where they're talking to like developers. They have inspirational music in the background. I'm really excited to show you. So they have that polish to it. And then they're just showing a ton of like cutscenes in the trailer. So what the internet is like, they're like zombies. They just walk slowly towards anything with a cutscene. Am I right? Mm-hmm. This game did not change fundamentally since it was last shown 6 months ago. And the internet
I didn't
vomited.
see much change yet.
No.
No.
It's literally all you have to do is present it a different way, and the internet will go, I'll buy that.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about this last week with Bungie. It's their pedigree. They made 3 good Batman games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this isn't a Batman game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You just can't really. I don't trust developers anymore. There's not developers that I'm like, oh, they're my favorite. Even Bethesda. I love Skyrim. It's like one of my favorite games ever. But I don't. Fallout 76. I mean, come on. I hope this game is good. I hope it's great. It just looks like a game that could have been good, but it's gonna just be a total game, a live service nightmare.
Scott, are you a free thinker? When you are presented new information, can you change it?
This is like the word of the day.
I know, right?
Okay. So, you guys
Wait,
know that.
let me continue.
No.
Stupid.
Let me continue. Let me continue. Okay, let me just say, like, you guys know that I kind of like what I saw initially, right? Like, I didn't think it was bad looking.
No, it doesn't.
And I think I still stand by that. Like, I think the combat looks like it has a little Rocksteady spin on it. It's third person shooter or whatever, but it has a certain cadence, which is what the Arkham games have, right? So I am still hoping that it plays well. Live service or whatever, if like the game itself is okay, at least at the base price, I mean, I consider it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this a $70 game?
Definitely.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure it will be. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah, I guess Scott, where are you on this game? Because you kind of like co-op shooters.
Yeah, I do. But what I'm seeing of this is not. It just doesn't.
Doesn't do it for you.
It doesn't. Yeah, there's not much there that. Of course, the presentation looks good, but
Yeah. So if this was called Crackdown 5, and it was just slightly different art style, you
Right.
remove the IP from it, you're still not interested in it.
Probably not. But I think this is the game we talked about episodes ago about if these developers would just release demos, or a beta, before it comes out to get. We're looking at games now. You have to play it to understand it, and I think this is one of those games. And what kind of like what Thick said is, you have to. It looks good, but I'm seeing potential, and maybe that's just me being doom and gloom. I don't know, but I just see a potential of it really trying to be a looter shooter, microtransaction.
Yeah, they didn't show any of that this time, which is probably a smart move on their part.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, it's hard to get rid of that last one.
Yeah.
It's still in my head.
They're at the
Shooting little
scene.
blue bubbles, or was it blue or purple or whatever?
One of those. Yeah.
They're at the scene in the movie where one of the characters realizes if we put zombie guts over our face, the zombies can't recognize us. So they're like slathering zombie guts, and they're like walking slow, and they're like, "Wow, we're doing it. We're getting through the zombie horror."
Yeah, that's a good
that's what's
metaphor
happening.
for this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you
exactly
for
what
that.
it is. Right.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've said enough on this game, right?
Nate's gonna buy it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I want to ask you a question because I feel like this game is coming out in February. Helldivers 2 is coming out in February. I'm way higher on Helldivers 2.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Okay,
But
you are too.
okay, maybe if they have a demo of this game, like an open beta, and I try it,
Yeah,
and
it could pull you
feels,
in.
If it feels good, I think game feel, you know me, game feel important. Then
Yeah.
I might consider this.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I guess they're just pretty different because Helldivers is pretty slow paced, right? Like you're like someone's got to cover me because I'm just not fast enough to move. And this game is the opposite. This game is like I can jump across the city in one swoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, news story number 2. I have this written down. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 7 Blackout Advanced 4 released to a 58 meta Open Critic score. All right? These games come out once every 3 months. We're choking on these games. We're absolutely choking on these games. So what I decided to do to introduce it to you two is I grabbed a good blurb on Open Critic and I grabbed a bad blurb on Open Critic.
Exciting.
May I read you a good blurb?
You may.
Sure.
Quote, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is overall a very good game with the best gameplay over the last 3 chapters thanks to a fluid and frenetic multiplayer and good zombie mode. A discordant note is an uninvolving and slightly shorter campaign, but it remains the Call of Duty with the best multiplayer in recent years, and this simply cannot be ignored. 8 out of 10, Mondo Xbox.
Mondo.
So that's
What?
Mondo Xbox.
Never heard of it.
yes.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the negative blurb. Quote, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 recycles old ideas in a stale package that is downright slog for most of the experience. It commits the ultimate sin of being boring, and it does not bode well for the future of a franchise that, for the last 20 years, has been the pinnacle of popular first-person shooter games.
Paul Tassi.
That that is from Kyle Foley from But Why They.
What?
You know, we love that website.
Well,
But Why
what
They.
is with these AI generated names? But yeah.
Yeah, Open Critic just I don't know why they're pulling from these, but I guess the first of all, let me ask you guys. You guys know about this franchise more than I do. How long is the average Call of Duty campaign? Would you say?
I would say 6 to 10 hours.
All right, so this is about
Below
half
average.
that.
Below average.
Yeah,
This is
this
definitely-
is about half that. Yeah.
All right. So I guess when you put it like that, I'm like, well, it's not really a DLC, because when I hear DLC, I think, oh, that's like a 10%. That's a 10% of a game. This is 50% of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either of you guys excited about this game?
No.
I mean, clearly no.
No, I played the beta, the multiplayer beta, and all of the maps that are released with the game are all previously
maps.
released in they're remakes of old maps. Terrible idea. If you have one or two, that's cool. You know, everybody likes nostalgia. But if you based your whole multiplayer around
Old
that,
maps. Yeah.
the problem is that the maps are the same. The playing is not. It's very different. You know, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, the first one, you couldn't run and slide and you know, fly through the air and land on your stomach and go prone, and you know, just traversal of the areas is a lot more fluid and a lot faster than it used to be. So like some of these maps I noticed, I'm getting across the map to the other side in like seconds, whereas before it would take you longer to do that. So you can be in the enemy spawn in seconds. You've got somebody on you, and that's just not a good choice for gameplay, especially when you're playing something that's Call of Duty. You know, it's fast, but it's tactical, and it just felt. The matches I played in the beta on those older maps just felt clumsy and sloppy. It just felt sloppy.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
So you don't agree with Mondo Xbox?
No, I don't. And that's just from the beta. And I that's one thing that I remember thinking is like, okay, time to kill is off, which it always is. They always fix that, you know, at the last minute after that beta. But the maps, I did not. I was like, you see it, it's like, oh yeah, it's rooftop. This is great. Oh, this sucks. This is horrible. You know, they're feeding on that nostalgia, and it seems lazy. It just seems lazy. It seems.
I think that's
It
really
seems
the
like a cash
context of
grab.
it, right? It's the value
Yeah,
proposition. It's not quite there, and that's where
Right.
a lot of the anger or hate for it comes from.
If this was dropped into Modern Warfare 2 as a DLC and charged $45 for it instead of $70, I don't think we would. I think that the reviews would be a little less harsh,
Yeah,
but it would feel more like you're not getting ripped off. Now the campaign itself, I've watched some reviews of it of people that play Call of Duty or are big Call of Duty fans, and or their channel is around Call of Duty, and they say that the campaign is not fun. There's like one good mission, the rest of it is just garbage. So yeah, you never really think about the campaign in a Call of Duty until it's really bad, and then you find out how many people actually play it.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this is, and you know, and this is not Phil Spencer's fault. Don't you know? It came out 2
Soon
weeks
as
after
soon
they-
as Xbox buys Activision, look at the quality.
yeah,
Look at the
they
quality.
ran in there and said, "Stop what you're doing! Make this
Yeah.
game horrible now!"
yeah.
But we're about to
Yeah.
release it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did not happen.
Bundle it with PlayStations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to buy it, bundle it, PlayStation. Yeah. Those deals were made. All of this stuff was done, you know, way in advance. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is not good, especially when we've got a dry season. I mean, we got Spider-Man 2 and Modern Warfare and
PlayStation Portal.
Well, I mean, game wise,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know.
that's it.
No, Scott, 2023 is the best year ever in gaming.
It
Don't
is,
you
but I'm
believe
just talking
it?
about like November, December. You know,
Yeah.
like what do you want for Christmas? I don't want Modern Warfare 3. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Crap.
I hear you.
terrible.
There'll probably be an
Try again.
open
They should try again
weekend.
next year.
What is it? There'll probably be an open weekend, and it'll probably be $20 off or $10 off in December. So that's usually what
maybe
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but it's still going to be the best selling game of the year probably.
Ooh,
said that.
Hogwarts could be sweating. Could be sweating.
I don't know.
It'll be
Maybe.
interesting. Interesting to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see where those numbers lie.
Yeah. Well, guys, now this is the part of the podcast where we need to kind of put our podcast to bed. You know,
Tuck it in.
I like to do it by doing a segment called Donkey of the Week. You guys know this is a fan favorite. Everyone loves Donkey of the Week. I have a new
Jeff Grubb.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I have a new Donkey of the Week.
Okay.
All right, this week's Donkey of the Week award goes to Chris Raygun of Sacred Symbols fame. You guys are familiar with Colin Moriarty's Sacred Symbols.
Your favorite.
They talk video games. I don't think they're quite as popular as our podcast, but they're trying. They're trying their best.
They'll get there.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
They will get there.
Yeah.
This is what Colin says. So to set this up, they're talking about live service. They're talking about Destiny and Bungie and how difficult live service is and how volatile it is. It's just a weird vibe because I feel like if anything is not volatile, it's like once you have a hit game like Destiny, it's pretty predictable what you're doing. Now I know Destiny kind of missed projections 45%, but I just feel like the nature of live service once you have a hit is pretty steady.
Yeah, they had a
Right.
bad DLC. They'll
Right.
recover. Everybody
Right.
can relax. Yeah.
Yeah, no apocalypse. But this is what Chris Raygun says in that context. And first of all, I can be wrong. You guys know I'm a free thinker. I can be wrong. I'm open-minded, right? So if I read this, I want both of you to be like, no, Nate, you're actually the Donkey of the Week, not
Okay.
Chris. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what Chris says. He says, quote, and you guys know it's my favorite game. So he says, quote, Fortnite messed up constantly, like almost consistently. The only reason they really nailed it was when they figured out they had this crossover appeal. Once they figured out they could license other IP and get this crossover thing going, it became a completely different game. Fortnite today is almost unrecognizable compared to when me and Colin first joked about it during the first few episodes of Sacred Symbols back in the day. First few episodes of Sacred Symbols back in the day was mid 2018. So it was about 7 or 8 months after Fortnite Battle Royale first launched.
Right.
So when I say that, so to add more context to the conversation, Chris says these words, and the other two hosts go like, "Yeah, Chris." They don't challenge Chris. They don't say, "Chris, what you just said is incorrect. We gotta stop you." So first of all, let me ask you: is this a quote deserving of the award, Donkey of the
Yes.
Week?
Yes, I do. I think so.
Okay, now Scott, you tell us why. What did you hear in that quote that you take umbrage with?
From my memory, Fortnite was extremely large before they started adding other
Yeah.
IPs. And you can even see it if you've gone into a Walmart on the end caps, there's Fortnite action figures and Nerf guns, and those
Right.
weren't, you're not seeing, Indiana Jones and just that was before that.
Yeah.
When the popularity peaked, that's when they started doing it because they knew that obviously they know how to do business.
Yeah.
They wanted to start adding those to keep that peak and not have
Yes.
it drop anymore. So yeah, I think he deserves that award because he's absolutely
Oh,
wrong.
good. Oh, good. Vic, do you have anything to add there? Do you have anything to add?
I think Scott is spot on this one.
Spot on. Okay. All right. I'm
And I
glad.
don't really play Fortnite.
No,
I
right,
think anybody
right.
could have
Yeah.
seen that. I think he's
Yeah.
dead wrong.
Again, I remember early on when like NBA players were doing Fortnite dances after scoring a basket. They were like doing the bandage thing. Hockey players were doing it. Like every major sporting event, athletes were doing the Fortnite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was well before Star Wars and Marvel got involved, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess it's just interesting. Like if eventually you two are going to be donkeys of the week, right? And maybe I'll be a donkey of the week.
We pass a torch, yes.
If it happens, I would like you guys to stop me in the moment and be like, Nate, this sounds like donkey of the week material, which I think you guys are going to do. I trust you that you'll do that.
But you're a free thinker, Nate.
That is a good point. If we say it 10 times in the podcast, we get kickbacks. So we're at like 7 times saying free thinker
Free thinker. Okay, got it.
in an organic manner. Yeah. Guys, unless you have anything else to add, that might close the podcast.
Oh, I thought there was more quotes. Not.
No, this week was just the one quote. This was
Okay.
the one quote.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you had a surprise one.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
That was the one.
Should
okay.
we bring
was wrong.
donkeys too? You know, show and tell donkeys.
Eeyaw.
You
We need a eeyaw sound.
I know one thing I noticed is some weeks I'll listen to a lot of like gaming podcasts. Other weeks I'll kind of go in a drought where I don't listen to many. So some weeks it's easier than other weeks to pull the donkey of the week out. So if you do hear it, bring it to the show. Bring it to the show.
Absolutely.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. I mean, we need to put that too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can have, I mean, we're perfect in our own way, and then we argue
Yeah.
about it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. All right, Scott, tell listeners how they can interact with us and find us.
In the comments below, please leave a comment. Just say hi. Even if you're AI, we'll talk to you.
How thirsty are we, Scott?
Very.
We're
Yeah.
very thirsty.
Yeah.
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 All right.
So, you got any one of them comments?
Yeah.
So, yeah, leave a comment below. You can meet us here on YouTube, and Thick.
Oh,
And
okay.
Thick, you always
it's,
send us off. You always send us off on a high note.
the highest. I think this will be
Yes.
very relevant to free thinkers. So
Okay.
We did it. We achieved 10.
yeah, okay.
We achieved 10.
yeah. So okay, here's the quote. If someone says it's raining and another person says it's dry, it's not your job to quote them both. It's your job to look out the window and find out which is true.
Yes.
Like that. I like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thick, you nailed it.
Okay.
You nailed it with a quote. Free thinkers can truly embrace.
Freethinkers.gg.
Right. Free thinkers. Yep. You have to read the article, not just the title.
No, don't read the article. Don't read the article. The article has nothing but spin and framing. I don't know what you have in today's modern age. You can't do anything to inform
I
yourself.
don't
anymore.
mean that literally. I just
Literally.
mean, it's
Yeah.
as far
Okay,
as
if they
spirit
read the
light,
article,
spiritual.
it's still one step ahead of people that just read the title. So
The headline. Yeah, that's
True,
okay. Fair
true.
enough. Fair enough. All right, guys. I don't want to talk to you for another 7 days. You got that?
Oh wait, next week, holiday. Holiday.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that right now on the show before we close it.
After the show?
Maybe we should talk
No,
about it
let's do it
after
right
the
now.
show.
Okay, I'm ending the stream. Bye.
Okay.